Hello everyone. Today I'm going to present you a tutorial on topic adductor canal. In this video we are going to cover the boundaries, the contents and the clinical anatomy related to adductor canal. So let's start. Adductor canal, which is also known as subarterial canal or Hunter's canal, it is basically an intramuscular tunnel that is present on your medial side of middle one third of thigh. Right? It is an intramuscular tunnel which is present on the medial side of the thigh, on the middle one third of thigh, on the medial side of the middle one third of thigh. Right? It extends from the apex of your femoral triangle. So we have already done the femoral triangle, right? So it extends from your apex of the femoral triangle to the tendinous opening in the adductor magnus muscle, right? It is 15 centimeters long and it is basically providing passage to your femoral vessels from the femoral triangle to the popliteal fossa, right? So this is your femoral triangle. The femoral vessels like your femoral artery, femoral vein and femoral nerve, they they passes through the femoral triangle through adductor canal, and then it enters the popliteal fossa via the adductor hiatus. Adductor hiatus is a tendinous opening present in the adductor magnus muscle, right? So the femoral vessels actually passes through the adductor canal to enter the popliteal fossa. Adductor canal is an intermuscular tunnel present on your medial side of the thigh on the middle one third of thigh. Right? Is it clear to all of you? Coming to the boundaries of adductor canal. Adductor canal is triangular in cross section. Right? This is the anterolateral boundary. This is the floor and this is the medial boundary, that is your roof, right? As it is triangular in cross section, so it has three boundaries: the anterolateral boundary, the roof that is on the medial aspect, and the floor, right? So the anterolateral wall is formed by vastus medialis muscle. Vastus medialis muscle. The floor is formed by adductor longus. This is your adductor longus muscle and adductor magnus below. Adductor magnus muscle is not visible in this diagram. Then we have roof. The roof is formed by fibrous membrane that stretch across the anterolateral and posterior boundary. So this is your strong fibrous membrane, the structure in green, right? It is stretching over your anterolateral boundary and your posterior boundary, that is your floor, right? So it is stretching over the anterolateral and the posterior boundary, and it is a strong fibrous membrane, the structure in green, and it is overlapped by your sartorius muscle, right? So this muscle is your sartorius muscle, right? So this was about the boundaries of adductor canal. Let's move further and see the contents of adductor canal.
Coming to the contents of your adductor canal.
So we have femoral artery. Femoral artery supplies your anterior compartment of the thigh. It is a continuation of your external iliac artery. The external iliac artery, when crosses the inguinal ligament, it becomes femoral artery and it supplies the anterior compartment of your thigh. Then we have femoral vein. Femoral vein drains into your great saphenous vein. The structure in red is your femoral artery. Then we have femoral vein. Then we have saphenous nerve. Saphenous nerve is a terminal sensory branch of your femoral nerve, and it provides cutaneous innervation to your medial knee, leg and foot. And it is also the longest sensory branch of your femoral nerve, right? So in short, it is a sensory branch of your femoral nerve. Then we have nerve 2, vastus medialis. It supplies your vastus medialis muscle. Then we have anterior and posterior division of obturator nerve. It is present occasionally, and obturator nerve is is the nerve of your medial compartment of thigh. Then we have descending genicular artery. Descending genicular artery is a branch of your femoral artery, right? So this was all about the contents of the adductor canal. So the structure in red is your femoral artery. This is your femoral vein. Then we have nerve to vastus medialis here. Then we have saphenous nerve, anterior and posterior division of obturator nerve, which is present occasionally, right? And descending genicular artery, branch of your femoral artery, right? Coming to the clinical anatomy part of your adductor canal. So what is the importance of your adductor canal? Why we are studying it in separate topic? So what happens when there is any aneurysm in your popliteal artery? What is an aneurysm? Aneurysm is an enlargement of an artery which is caused by a weakness in the arterial wall. So if there is any weakness in the artery wall, it may create a bulge or distension, and we call it as an aneurysm, right? So if there is any aneurysm in your popliteal artery, so the femoral artery is exposed and ligated in the adductor canal itself during the surgery, right? So it is because the artery at this side, artery in the adductor canal, is healthy and it won't tear when it is tied, right? Or it may tear in the popliteal fossa during the surgery if we would tie it above the popliteal aneurysm, right? So, and this procedure was first performed by a surgeon named Dr. John Hunter, and that is why the adductor canal was named after his name, Hunter's canal. It is also known as subsartorial canal, Hunter's canal, or adductor canal, right? So I hope this is clear to all of you. In case of popliteal artery aneurysm, the femoral artery is exposed and ligated in the adductor canal, not in the popliteal fossa, because the femoral artery is healthy and it won't tear when tied in the adductor canal, right? So this was about the clinical correlation of your adductor canal. I hope everything is clear to all of you. If you have any query, let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.